The new Gastra Spark has a 4-point bridle without pulleys. The steering lines are directly connected to the tip. There are two different points of contact to set the bar pressure and the turning speed. For ventilation and venting, we have a commercial valve. At the end of the tip, there is still a small valve for venting. The short bridle makes the line rejections at the end of the middle struts superfluous. A line deflector is only available at the end of the front tube. The front tube is closed with a simple welded seam, doubled and sewn. The canopy of the Spark is a double ripstop material. The canopy goes far into the tips. Only the edge is reinforced with duck run material. The trailing edge is reinforced with a canopy duplication. For self-rescue, there are webbing loops on both tip sides. Impact and shaving are reinforced with Kevlar material. The struts are attached to the canopy with a single seam. And in the transition from canopy to front tube, there is a medium white Dacron stripe. The Gastra Spark glides early in both sizes we tested. Here it is important to set the trim exactly. The kite is delivered a little bit covered. Therefore you should pull the adjuster 1 to 2 cm to get a neutral flight behavior. If the kite is trimmed correctly, it will be streamed early, evenly and cleanly. The profile, which is not too much curved, can also convince on the upwind course. The kite stands here far at the edge of the wind window and delivers constant power without having to be corrected. It's easy to go upwind. The soft component of the bar feeling, as well as the previous model, is also noticeable in the new model. It is not 100% to assign how the steering angle is related to the resulting force of the kite. So it takes a short time to get used to the kite. There are only small forces to control and keep the kite necessary. Only with very strong wind the forces rise. The pulling of the Spark is constantly high. There are no unevenness here that could stress the rider. Also in the power development it is moderate and gently. Nobody is overwhelmed here, because here the power is delivered evenly and without progression. In comparison of 3 strut kites, the Spark in both sizes turns quickly. Depending on the steering angle, the radii can be very narrow, with the flight curve always remaining round. If we look at the flight speed and compare it with our own Pure, the Spark is a bit lower. For a freeride kite he is an absolutely average of his speed. There is also nothing to complain about when it comes to the flight stability. It stays stable for a long time with little line tension, and the profile remains compact even with strong wind. Also the D-power assists are really good, and pushing away the bar is enough to reduce the pressure effectively. The Gastra safety system release at 6 kg under a load of 120 kg. Then the pressure-free crash occurs over the single frontline safety. The reassembly of the safety system is easy and can be done by anyone without reading a manual. The relaunch is also easy. Pulling and holding a steering line lets the Spark rise quickly. Once you've gotten used to the timing of the steering behavior and the resulting power, the Spark really offers easy jumping characteristics. Before the jump he does not generate any lateral forces, so even with a low technique, a good lift can be created. For a 3-strut freeride kite, the Spark has a high aspect ratio, which is why it also has a nice hang time. So even the old school freaks will have enough time in the air with a Spark to celebrate one or the other board off. Actively controlled, the Spark delivers the best performance when jumping. Just putting on the bar only leads to smaller hops. A clear distinction to the in-house Pure, which is also an all-rounder but with a stronger emphasis on the freestyle area, is the pop at unhooked jumps, which is not so strong at Spark. There is a lot of power going down in edging in the higher aspect ratio of the kite. Nevertheless, freestyle tricks can be performed even if the release is not very big. So it is clear that the Pure is better suited in this area. In kite loops the kite consistently has a clean inflow. He turns round and smooth through the entire loop. Only the trailing edge flutters a bit, what the actual process but not bother. The kite loop beginner can venture to the first loops due to the secure flow. When you guide the kite in light wave conditions, you can most clearly feel the difference between the steering behavior and the resulting force. Here it takes some time to get used to it. If you can position the kite so it drifts very nicely, though this area is provided with fun. Even in the 2018 season, the Spark in the 3-strut freeride segment does not have to hide from its competitors. Its performance potential is consistently competitive, especially in terms of hang time. A small drawback what could not be turned off compared to the previous year is the somewhat unconcrete bar feeling, which requires a bit of getting used to. The connection between steering and the resulting power is not as homogeneous as we have shown from other top-class kites in this segment. This results in a short time to get used to the full performance of the Spark, which, as I said, it's consistently competitive. So the kite from the beginner to the advanced rider can come up with a lot of fun. Weight restrictions we see no here.